Okay, so this video of a council meeting gone into chaos has just gone viral, so I'm going to watch it, I'm going to react to it, and we're going to look at some of the news stories and see how they're covering it.
When do we plan to start?
I think we could start any moment, Chairman. I think it's perhaps helpful just to go through the same things as we went through before, which is just to encourage people to switch off their microphones, because it does reduce the background. Bing, which tells us that somebody else wants to come in. So I'll continue to admit people if you'd like to start the meeting, Chairman.
Can we be assured that we won't be thrown out of the meeting like we were last time?
As long as we have reasonable behaviour from everyone, no one would be excluded from the meeting.
I was thrown out of the meeting.
Reasonable behaviour. What's that?
So was Councillor Birthill, so was Councillor Brewerton.
As a point of order, Chairman, could we start the
Again.
Chair.
Okay. I'll get for. Okay.
Chair.
We haven't started the meeting yet. Do you want to speak anyway?
Yes, I'd like to ask a point of order.
I'm in.
John Smith.
We're not in a meeting, so points of order are not.
When's it started yet? No.
Points of order apply during the debates. And I want to ask Jackie, was it you who quoted a point of order?
Yes, it was indeed.
Are you here as the proper officer?
I am here offering support to Handforth Parish Council in the conduct of this meeting this evening.
You're not the proper officer.
Is that as clerk or proper officer?
There's no difference between clerk and proper officer.
Let's find out. Clerk, proper officer, council. Okay, so the role of the proper officer, Parish Town Council shall appoint officers. Proper officer is very often referred to as the clerk. So apparently they are the same, but can be known as other terms such as chief exec. The clerk is advisor to the council. They will advise on the practical, legal and procedural nature of the discussion and decision and the issues that may arise. Legally, councils can delegate discussions to clerks because they are trusted professional officers whose objectivity allows them to act for them. The clerk is not a secretary or the personal assistant. So they basically offer legal advice, I guess, for things that are raised. The clerk's responsibility must sign the agenda, committee meetings. They are done by the clerk to ensure the independence, so they agree to be a true record of the council. So make a decision in emergency, making decisions related to health and safety, responding to planning applications. Clerk is often an expert in many fields. Okay. So they don't have that much to do other than advise on the legal aspect. So let's continue.
Of course there is.
Yes, there is.
You must know the basic law.
Are we
I
going
would
to,
have thought.
are we going to start?
It's not
this
really
meeting?
law.
It isn't the role of somebody who, however kindly, volunteers to do the clerking for a meeting to act as a proper officer if they haven't so been appointed. That's against the law.
It's been called by
And
Let's see. Appointed. Okay, so Parish Town shall appoint such officers necessary for the proper discharge of their functions. A proper officer is very often referred as a clerk. It doesn't say that it's not lawful, so...
And let me also quote to you the standing orders of Handforth. But will you stop talking?
Unless we are prepared.
Will you please listen?
We'll go the same.
Will you please listen? Will you stop being whatever it is you're trying to be and just clerk the meeting if that's what you want to do?
What did he want to say?
Points of order, according to our standing orders, are determined by the chair. If you want to raise a point of order as a council...
Let's look up points of order. Council meeting. Find point of order. While a member is speaking, all the members must remain seated unless rising to a point of order. Point of order. Point of order. What is a point of order? Personal explanation and points of order. A point of order is a request by a member to the chairman of the council to rule on an alleged irregularity in the constitution or procedure in the meeting. Okay, so a point of order is raised by a member. If the disorderly conduct, this might put things into context. So if the chairman of the council considers a member's conduct disorderly and so states to the council, then the chairman of the council or any other member may move not to hear a particular member further, and if seconded, the motion shall be put to a vote without discussion. Disregarding the ruling of the chairman of the council, willfully obstructing its proceedings or behaving improperly, offensively or irregularly shall for these purposes be considered disorderly. Okay, so the chairman of the council, so I don't think the chairman is the same person as the proper officer. Chairman. Okay, so who is the chairman the same as the proper officer? Council meeting. Roles and responsibilities. Okay, so fine. Chairman. So holds a statutory position defined in law. Post defined in law. Is a member of the council. Is elected annually. Has authority at meetings. Must be obeyed administration. So the chairman is not the same as the proper officer. It refers to the appropriate officer for the relevant function in town. The proper officer is normally the clerk. In financial matters, the proper officer is known as the responsible. Okay, so they're not the chair. It's only the chair that can determine these points of order.
You ask if you can raise a point of order, you state it, and then the chair decides.
Yep.
It is not for the clerk to raise a point of order. It is not for the clerk to decide a point of order.
That's true.
And you must be aware of that, or at least God knows what you're doing in your job if you're not aware.
Start this meeting.
It is.
Or shall we elect an alternative chairman?
Oh, hiya. I'm just in a meeting at the moment. Can I give you a call back when it finishes?
The good reason.
Okay, all right, bye.
So, Chairman, albeit late, shall we get this meeting started?
As long as you
Can't see
understand.
Jackie Weaver.
Who's this woman?
God, old people trying to use technology is hilarious. To be fair,
Right, we'll start.
most Zooming
We'll
meetings
start
are
the
like this,
meeting, and I
regardless
want
of
to
your
repeat
age.
what I said at the beginning of the last meeting, that this meeting has not been called according to the law. The law has been broken.
The meeting has been properly
Will you
called.
please let the chairman
Mrs. Weaver,
speak?
please.
If you disrupt this meeting, I will have to remove you from it.
You can't.
Yep, she's
It's
the
o-
clerk, not the chairman. It's only the chairman that has the power to remove, and that is only after there has been a vote without discussion, as we saw earlier. So she doesn't have the power to do this.
Only the chairman who can remove people from a meeting. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all.
That's true. She's supposed to give legal
She's
advice.
just kicked him out.
I,
Just a minute. No, she's kicked him out. Don't. She's kicked him out. Don't.
this is a meeting called by two councillors.
Illegally?
You may now elect a chairman.
No, they can't because the vice chair's here. I take charge. Read the standing orders. Read them and understand.
Right, let's get on to vice chairman. So the chairman or the vice chair should be present. Okay, so the vice chair presiding, election of a chair. Let's see, we've got for vice chairman. Disruptive. Chairman of Council, General Stand, voting. No chairman. I wonder what happens if there's no chairman present. Maybe it's not important. Let's get back to this. Let's get back.
A chairman.
No, they can't because the vice chair's here. I take charge.
Don't know if he's actually the vice chairman or not, but if he is, he would presumably be the person with the authority to do these things, because it was the chairman who's supposed to do these things. So let's continue.
Read the standing orders. Read them and understand them.
Dear me.
Appalling behaviour.
Right, what's more appalling behaviour? The person who breaks the law or the person who points out angrily? Yeah, sure, but I'd be angry if someone was taking responsibilities that legally weren't theirs to take. It's perfectly rational to be mad about that. Maybe he shouldn't have been mad, but you can't kick him out for that.
Chairman gone.
A copy of this will, in fact, be sent to the monitoring officer.
Well, I hope so.
Out of those people,
Where's
the chairman?
He seems to have walked away.
Where's the chairman gone?
like to elect a chairman for this meeting.
You don't have to elect a chairman. There's a chairman already installed.
Yep.
The chairman of the council.
Councillor Burkle, we've been through this.
You don't. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. The chairman of the council is the chairman of the council.
Yeah, I'm going to subpoena everybody.
Roberto, could I ask you to be respectful to Jackie Weaver, please?
Elect a
Here comes the subpoena.
What? Subpoenas? What for?
chairman.
Leave. Just you go and help them. She's kicked Barry out, so I'm leaving. No, Barry. No, Barry has gone. I'll stay. We're trying to have a Teams meeting, you fool. We're trying to have a Teams meeting, you fool. Okay. We can't if you've got that.
What was that? Was that his wife or something coming in and complaining about the disruption? I don't know.
Jackie Weaver, I find that the person on Alec Bruton's Zoom is being very disrespectful to everybody.
Oh, coming from you, from Birkenhead, that sounds good.
My first point is to apologise to Jackie for welcome to Handforth.
What does that mean?
May I start?
Indeed, it's nothing if not lively in Handforth.
Yes, but what I would say is that it was a very good example of bullying within Cheshire East.
What's bullying? Like, where is the bullying? They're like angry that someone is taking responsibilities that legally aren't theirs, and they're angry about it. That's not bullying. No one was insulting. Well, I guess this video is best of, so maybe things have been cut out, but nothing I've seen in this video I think counts as bullying.
And the environs.
John, can I make a very, very quick point? Rich coming from the chairman who hasn't held a meeting since March to try and call this one illegal. The man is a complete disgrace.
Okay, thank you.
What does that mean? The illegality of a meeting being called is not dependent on when the last meeting was called. It's dependent on the criteria by which the meeting is called. What is the meeting? So annual ordinary meetings. Let's have a look. So this annual. This is the annual meeting of the council, and any meetings convened by the chairman of the council, the statutory officers, or by members of the council. Meetings for the transaction of general business can be held on 5 occasions on Saturday morning or weekday. Morlands. If on the day of the meeting the business accounts have not been completed. In the absence of both chairman and vice chairman, those members present will choose one of their number to preside at the meeting, and that person shall have the powers of the chairman and the council in relation to the conduct of the meeting. So, okay, so if the chairman and the vice chairman are not there, then that's the point where they vote for a temporary chairman for that particular meeting. So that's that question answer we had earlier. Doesn't actually... Extraordinary council meetings. Let's have a look at this. So those listed below may request the proper officer to call extraordinary council meetings in addition to ordinary meetings. So the council by resolution, the chairman of the council, the head of paid service, monitoring chief finance officer, and any 6 members of the council, if they have signed a requisition presented to the chairman of the council and he has refused to call a meeting or has failed to call a meeting within 5 working days of the presentation of the requisition, the business to be transacted must be a matter where the council has power to, or duties or which affects the district. So they said it was called by 2 members of the council. Here it says the head of paid service, monitoring officer or chief finance officer and any 6 members of the council. So 2 members doesn't seem like enough, but chief finance officer is also the role of the clerk. Also known as the proper officer, but since this person has volunteered themselves rather than being appointed, I think that's the point of contention here, and that's why people are angry, and that's why those people are disputing the legality of the meeting. So it's, I mean, I'm no lawyer or anything, but this seems to be the reason.
Peter, all right.
Formulate an official reply to that letter.
Thank you, Roger. Yes, we will be. Sorry, we will be elaborating on that as well. Ian. Ian, you're muted.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Right.
I noted before the chairman departed from the meeting, the chairman of the council, I noted that his label on his video said clerk of Handforth Parish Council.
This bit's gold.
Could anyone please clarify how that came about and whether that is in fact the case right now?
It's very easy to change your name in Zoom.
Thank you, Ian. I must admit, I didn't notice that.
I have a photograph of it.
I can only assume it was... did you say it was a badge, or was it actually his tag on his laptop?
It's where, like you see Ian Ball on my video. It said Clark Handforth Parish Council on his.
Yes.
I have no idea how that has happened, and I am, as far as I'm concerned, and any other councillors here this evening, he is not the clerk of Parish Council, whether or not he declares himself to be or not, or...
That seems to be the point. He's making a point that simply declaring yourself as the clerk doesn't legally make you the clerk. That seems to be the point of contention here. That's why. That's the whole point, right? Someone else is here pretending that they have been appointed, so he's decided to put a badge on there that claims that he is the clerk.
Makes himself a badge that says, I'm the clerk of Parish Council. My understanding is he cannot do it.
No.
It is not.
I also have an email from him saying that he has taken over as clerk of Handforth Parish Council.
Okay, maybe he has taken over.
Jackie, could you give us a chart view on this?
A what view?
Yes, certainly, Chairman.
I'd like to perhaps ask Jackie, could you give us a chart view?
A chart view? A child view?
On this?
Yes, certainly, Chairman. Yes, most definitely. I did. Thank you. I did notice the moniker on the screen, and it did make it quite difficult putting names to whoever. But having followed this quite closely, the chairman simply declared himself clerk.
You volunteered
and
yourself
notified
by
everybody
what
of the
he said.
case.
Have you been
And
appointed?
the remaining members, quite correctly, have refused to recognise that that position. But as Councillor Smith says, I'm afraid there's no way of stopping him calling himself clerk.
Just like there's
Please
no way
refer
you.
to me as Britney Spears from now on. We did, as you know, put the disruptive members into the waiting room. Are we minded to allow them to try to return to the meeting?
I'm afraid that I would be loath for that to happen because we've got work to get through, and I can only see everything being
even more disruptive.
I was surprised at the reaction of some of the people in the way that, you know, certainly in the Bruton household.
May I interject there, Chair?
Yes, certainly.
Would it be acceptable to send a message to them to say if they are prepared to come back and
voice of
behave in a
reason.
proper manner, then we would happily have them back in the meeting?
Seems reasonable.
I'm against
No.
that, Sue, because they've already disrupted the planning.
Okay.
They've also disrupted the...
It's also my understanding, given the regulations and the laws that we looked up earlier, that there should be no discussion. They should just simply vote on whether someone is kicked out or not. From what we saw, they were removed unilaterally by this clerk. That's not supposed to happen. Firstly, the chair is supposed to have the decision on whether people can be kicked out. Secondly, there's supposed to be a vote on it. So this is not legal what's happened here.
Community, and
Okay,
what
Cynthia.
I felt really aggrieved at was the fact that someone in the Bruton household sat there like a laughing hyena.
Well, yeah, because they couldn't believe what was... It was laughable, right? It was laughable that there was such a disregard of the law and the regulations regarding council meetings. So, yeah, it is funny. Like, it's funny that people think they can get away with just doing this. Like,
that actual...
Can we back?
Bear with me a second. I'm just looking for the papers. Which...
I'll ask for you to be put in.
that is so fucking boomer. Top of his head. Oh, it's so good. Oh, wait. It could have been the top of his head. It could have been. Oh.
Please, could Alan Murdoch be brought back into the meeting?
Who's Alan Murdoch, please?
Yes, please.
No, who is Alan Murdoch?
It's a member of the public.
Member of the public, yes.
I've got Alan's iPad and Alan's
Yes, that's him.
Alan's iPad.
Yes.
Certainly.
Just excuse me a second.
Thank you.
Please give my apologies to his iPad.
No, mate, sorry, I didn't realise I was disruptive. I was being muted. How can I be disruptive when I'm muted?
You're always disruptive.
Just by looking at you.
God, what is this town,
The
man?
neighbourhood plan
It's everybody
steering
over
group has
70.
never formally been disbanded. As far as I'm concerned, it's still intact. However, I think it would be very easy to alter the constitution. No problem at all.
Okay.
What does that mean? No, very easy to alter the constitution. To what? From what? Like, what are you talking about?
And Alan?
Yes, can I speak? Sorry, I didn't get a chance to make any comments on this because I was on the naughty step when we first had when we had
Fucking
public
boomers,
comment.
man.
Room on it?
No, not now, no.
Boomer humour.
Would you like to propose something, Sue?
Yeah, well, let's propose that we set up a subcommittee for that very thing.
Subcommittee of the steering group.
A subcommittee of the, yes. No, it would have to be a subcommittee of the planning and environment.
No,
Oh.
I don't want it like that.
No. Yes, it is important. I'd like to just check with Jackie is that ideal?
It really makes no difference. The date of the next sentence.
Fine.
That would be hard to do because we haven't got access to it. We're blocked.
You've got we're blocked against what?
On the Handforth Parish website, we can't get on.
One of the councillors from the West Ward did not attend a meeting for 6 months. The last meeting that was attended was in November last year. So missed December, January, February and March, which was the last full HPC meeting. The fact that there were no meetings held is irrelevant.
What? It's irrelevant that no one went to meetings that weren't held. I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean? Like, it's irrelevant that there were no meetings held to the point of why no one was at the meetings. Bear in mind as well, this is all during lockdown. Like, maybe people can't go to them in person, obviously, because of the pandemic. But then a lot of people might not be able to use this technology because, as you can see, the council's made up of people who all appear to be over the age of 60. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being over the age of 60, but, like, come on, like, they don't know how to use technology, clearly.
Ashley, I said his name there. That is why the clerk sent notification to the monitoring officer, to the...
Hang on, what?
I will advise that, his name there. That is why the clerk, there were no meetings held, is irrelevant. But that is why, Ashley, I said his name there. That is why the clerk sent notification to the monitoring officer, to the... I will advise that the 3 members in the room this evening currently have made representations to the monitoring officer. The elements of the offence are summarised in Attorney General's reference, and it's referenced there. My personal opinion is that it's for political gain. Sue.
There's a member of the public wishes to speak.
Sorry?
Peter wishes to speak.
I hope yes.
Well, Rogers was a very measured and appropriate response, actually. I think he's quite right that you should respond individually.
What?
Leave the room.
Stuck there.
Currently, I'm quite happy.
These people are absolutely feckless.
I have never seen such a strongly worded letter from a monitoring officer to a local council. 25 years, I've never seen anything like it.
You've not been to Handforth often enough.
Hilarious.
Any more?
Every fucking town's like this, man. You're not unique. You're not special. Imagine all council meetings are like this. Absolute shambles.
Thank you, Jackie. Which is why we've been walking on eggshells since June.
I'd say glass. I wouldn't say eggshells. My feet are cut to ribbons.
That's if you're a Scouser.
Shut up. Yeah.
Okay. Ian, question.
That's more bullying than the fucking other shit.
Ian.
You're muted.
Now you go.
There you go.
Good.
Severe lag on the system.
I think if this goes viral on the internet, or
someone who actually understands how these things work,
it's going to start a war of words.
I agree that we
a
don't
war
want
of
to
words.
prejudice anything. We don't want a turf war breaking out.
Turf war.
It is not going to be finished this side of Christmas.
So that would get the flavour
I think that's a very good compromise.
Yes. Yes. Because then we are not. Peter.
Yeah. Hand down. There is a vacancy.
Okay, thank you.
And
who's put this video together?
I'm trying to choose my words. You know me, I'm not for words.
Can we make this recording available of the Zoom meeting?
That's not a good idea, mate.
But if you want to listen to my dulcet tones and get bored, then it's there and available, or will be.
Thank you.
That'd be interesting for other parties on the council to hear it.
And it gives us a nice window into how councils operate.
Okay. Any?
The second Tuesday in January. Don't know what the date is.
Oh, this is boring from now on. Okay, so let's see how this is being reported in the news. Chaotic Handforth Parish Council meeting goes viral. Lockdown entertainment can come from the most unlikely of sources, and members of the Handforth Parish Council have found themselves reluctant internet stars thanks to chaotic Zoom meeting. Planning committees are not usually considered must-see, but this one has been notched up 2 million views. It has highs and lows, and some members are even sent to a virtual naughty chair. I wonder if there's going to be any mention of the law being broken here. The video include Olympic gold medalist Sir Chris Hoy, who asked, "Who needs Netflix?"
You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all.
She's just kicked him out.
Ups and downs, when Chairman Brian refused to recognise the legitimacy of the meeting, labelled himself clerk, Ms. Weaver said the chairman simply declared himself clerk and notified everybody of the case. There is no way of stopping him from calling himself clerk. Please refer to me as Britney Spears from now on. So, BBC really focusing on the main points here. So Mr. Toll was removed from the meeting and placed in a virtual waiting room after saying, "You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver." No explanation for why he was saying it, because they've not presented the entire thing. They're just presenting you a small piece, which makes him look bad, even though, I mean, I don't know the full story here, but based on what we know about how these council meetings are supposed to proceed, it does seem that she wasn't supposed to be removing people from the room. That was the job of the chair, and that has to be voted on by the members, which did not happen. Councillor Aled Brewerton then said, as vice chairman, should take charge of the meeting. Read the standing orders, read them and understand them. He was also sent to the waiting room. Postcode wars threatened to break out when someone accused other of being disrespectful answered, "Coming from you from Birkenhead, that sounds good." When fellow councillor Susan Moore called for civility, the meeting erupted into semi-hysterical laughter and another participant, Barry Burkle, was removed. Okay, so there's no discussion of what has happened here from the BBC. It is literally posting the video and a small clip of it, which makes him look bad. Let's have a look at the Standard. I'm guessing most of these articles aren't going to go in any depth to...
We'll start the meeting and I want to...
So the footage of... the footage of the Handforth company was posted on Twitter, blah, 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 all kicked off, booted, bizarre, unseen councillor saying fuck off, blah, 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 blah. Attempt to control the meeting, called by two councillors, we may now elect a chair, but she was cut off by vice chair. So this is just describing what happens. Okay, so again, absolutely nothing. So the Independent, bizarre parish council meeting. Jackie Weaver trended throughout Thursday evening. Committee in response, Jackie removed. Himself the clerk. This is what counts for journalism. They just want the sensationalism. They just want the clicks. They just want... Maybe we'll get a bit more from Sky because it was posted 3 hours ago. Nope. Like, what is it? Why are these news articles literally just... Let's describe what's happening in the video, which we're only going to post a small clip from, when the entire video is available. Check out The Guardian. Household, did things not improve? Footage which were exchanged during the meeting. In the recording, he told Weaver, you have no authority here. When fellow council moves civility. So they're all writing the same article. It's literally the same article with just different words. The tab. Explained. Okay. Okay, so they're actually saying the full video is available here. Let's just check the link. Yeah, that's the one we watched. Okay, so it's a village, 6,000 people. That explains the geriatrics. So giving fuck off under their breath. Brian Tolver then went to question the legitimacy of the meetings. He said this meeting's not been called according to the law. Okay, so the tab is actually doing journalism and trying to give the full context of it for those who can't be bothered to watch the full video. Okay, so they're actually going into it. Like the tab, like why isn't the BBC, why isn't the Guardian, why isn't the Standard, why aren't these big journalistic outlets with the resources to actually do some fact-checking, some fact-finding, just describing what you see with your eyes? So for me, a national treasure... Jackie Weaver is from the Cheshire Show. Imagine someone who is accused of breaking the law becoming a national treasure. Okay, so this isn't who she is. This is just what the internet thinks she is. These memes are great. Actually, let's watch a few of these. These might be fun. Read the standing orders. No, I don't think I will. Me when Jackie Weaver kicked that man off of Zoom. The best part of this saga is Jackie Weaver's face after she kicks him out. Our queen is absolutely unbothered. She did what she had to do. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have the authority to do that. She shouldn't have done that. I'm glad she did, though, because this is hilarious. I once was booted off a Parish Council Zoom meeting by Jackie Weaver for telling her she had no authority. Jackie Weaver kicking off the Handforth Parish Council Zoom meeting. I am so random, I can't believe I just did that. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all. Oh, when you realise that Jackie Weaver did in fact have the authority. That's not true. It isn't true. Jackie Weaver logging onto Zoom. Having the authority means legally, not practically. Like, I can go and kill someone. Doesn't mean I have the authority to go kill someone just because I did it. That's not what authority is. Jackie Weaver logging onto Zoom on the 10th of December. Oh yeah, some Drag Race UK. The cheek, the nerve, the audacity, the gall, and the gumption. That's a good quote. I am going to read a standing order that is so understandable. Oh my god, right, okay, so the tab gave us a little bit of context, but it is literally meme fest. Okay, here we go. Let's have a check. Calm, quiet, angry, loud. I think she was a lot angrier. She was quiet, but she was definitely angry. I wouldn't put her... She was calm. Oh, I'm confusing this with the authoritarian, libertarian, left-right spectrum. Yeah, she was there. Doesn't mean that's a good thing. Okay, so my high hopes for the journalism of this article have been replaced by at least a what's the word? When you're happy about something, I'm happy. I'm happy that this article exists. It has collected some very good memes. LBC, that'll be fun. Footage really posted on our website. Been shared on Twitter during the committee. Take %. Initially invited to take the chair. Refused to recognise the legitimacy of the meeting. Okay. Upset at the presence of the clerk, and after being told he could be removed. So the chair is saying it's only the chairman who can remove people from the meeting. That's true. We looked it up. No authority. True. Clearly frustrated his behaviour. Ms. Weaver kicked her out. She just kicked him out. So yeah, like, people are focusing on the hysterics, the drama, which is a complete distraction from the fact that somebody took authority that she didn't have legally. That's what happened. That's what the story is here. I mean, the fact that any of these people are in any position of authority, including the people that got angry, is a massive wake-up call to people, I think. It should be, because these people are not just in Handforth. These people are in power in councils across the country, and this is who the Tories are planning to devolve more powers to with regards to COVID, pandemic, lockdown restrictions. I'm not comfortable with all these old people deciding what everybody else can do, and these are people who are very self-interested in keeping us locked down for longer. In my opinion, just based on their age, and that puts them in a vulnerable category, and they're not interested in the damage it's doing to the younger generation. Ooh, Jackie Weaver into the next Thursday Murder Club novel. Again, there's no. The tab at least did point out. Let's see what the tabloids are saying. Fine by me. Jackie Weaver is the meeting clerk. She was taking part in the meeting in Handforth Council. What did she do in Handforth Council? Coming in the meeting, acrimonious. Thomas then said he refused to recognise the legitimacy of both meetings, saying we had no authority and to stop talking. He was telling her to stop talking because she was trying to interrupt him, not because he wanted her to stop altogether. He was trying to explain the legal basis on which she has no authority in this meeting, and she wouldn't stop talking. So even from the Sun, we've got some biased reporting. In response, Weaver removed him from the meeting and placed him in a virtual waiting room. And then main man then started, Councillor Susan Moore, confusion then started. We've said the chairman simply declared himself clerk and notified everybody of the case. I mean, that's probably also illegal. So everyone's in the wrong here. So now we're going, why has it gone viral? Okay, so Daily Mail. Nine hours ago. It's not often that a 7-minute edited video, it wasn't 7 minutes, the full video was 18 minutes. Block those. Whitelist. Once. Living at control chaos. Are we going to have anything like don't approve his room? I mean, the chairman is Handforth. There's clear history here. Handforth politically correct clerk. Okay. Mrs. Weaver said no one could stop Mr. Culver describing himself as the meeting's clerk or indeed anything else. Please refer to me as Britney Spears from now on, she adds. He addresses the meeting's actual clerk. We don't know that she's the actual clerk, though, because the claim from Tolver is that she has volunteered to put herself in that position. Legally, the clerk has to be appointed by the council members, that may well have happened and he's just not happy with the person that is. But I would have thought the job of actual journalists would be to find out what's actually going on here. But nope, it's Circus. We're showing you the circus. Oh, yeah, Daily Mail on the memes. Daily memes. It's Britney, bitch. Okay. Not as many. Oh, we got more memes. Ooh. You have no authority, Jay. No authority. Okay, so there you have it. Yeah. So the media, once again, not reporting this as actually happened, but reporting on the drama, because drama sells clicks. The truth doesn't. I don't expect many people will look up the regulations, the laws surrounding how councils work. But yeah, I hope other people do. And I think it demonstrates the kind of people that are in our councils, and goes a lot of the way to explaining why councils are so bad. And I hope that we can move away from this charade of democracy where out of touch people are in control of other people's lives. I think it needs to stop. Okay,